Welcome to Up the Villa podcast. Welcome to the show. We've got some exciting news that broke last night, and that is that V Sports have acquired 46% stake in Vitoria Sport Club in Portugal. What does this mean for Aston Villa? We'll get into it as well. Drop my thoughts. Villa fans, drop your thoughts on this, but it just feels like it's another step in the build under NSWE for Aston Villa and V Sports, that we're making moves in different areas which are only going to impact Aston Villa in a positive way, in my opinion. So, let's get into it then. So let's have a look at the statement that Villa dropped. So we've got Aston Villa can confirm the club's holding company, V Sports, has entered into a sale and purchase agreement to acquire 46% of the shares in Portuguese club Vitoria Sports Club. The agreement, which requires ratification by members of Vitoria Sports Club, signals an important step forward in the global expansion of V Sports portfolio, which is the company that owns Aston Villa. We are in the V Sports bracket for NSWE. Formed in 1922, the Premier League side are established in the top flight club and have competed regularly in European football competitions, reaching UEFA Cup quarter-final in 1987. They also faced Villa in the same competition in 1983. V Sports aims to create a synergy amongst the clubs in its group that will encourage the sharing of worldwide scouting networks, academy coaching methodologies, best practice, and youth academy development strategies across Europe and Africa. And then we've got quotes from Suiris, a director of V Sports. V Sports is delighted to be partnering with Vitoria Sports Club. And discussions have been ongoing for 2 years and have progressed thanks to positive steps taken by a new management team led by Antonio Miguel Cardoso, whose energy and vision has been crucial component in reaching this agreement. So, this is the main area that I think we need to highlight and touch on. Many of you thinking, what does this mean? Why would we do this? How does it impact Villa? Well, simply, it's about creating synergy amongst the clubs in its group. So whether that's Aston Villa, Vitoria Sports Club, we've got the potential Las Vegas Villains to come as well. So all three will be working under the same umbrella. Sharing worldwide scouting networks, so adopting scouts from various areas. So looking at, say, if the Portuguese side are looking at a player that could maybe enhance and work alongside Aston Villa, and vice versa. The youth setup as well, having youth from each club going to each club, maybe on loan, development strategies across Europe and Africa as well. So I think that's one of the biggest things to touch on, the network between the two clubs. So, we all know scouting is so important, and one of the things that I was impressed with in this window that's just gone was Aston Villa looking at players from La Liga. We were looking at the young kid from Chile, the University of Chile. So we were looking at different areas, and that's what I think Aston Villa now need to break into that mould and do. A little bit like what Brighton are doing. They pick up these players from South America, 18, 19-year-olds. They embed them in their first team, and then they end up like Casado. So I think that's an area that Villa got to look at. I think it's going to be important for youth, attracting different youth players, working together. And the one big thing for me, which the statement didn't mention, is touching on the South American side of things. I look at the Portuguese league, and I always look at it and feel like they can attract top young South American talent to that league. We've seen it with Darwin Núñez. We've seen it with Enzo Fernandez going to Benfica. So I think if Villa can tap into that market a little bit through this club as well and work together and nurture and bring talent through, then I only think it's going to be a good thing. So I'm really excited by it, because I think the V Sports profile, it's starting to grow. It's starting to look a little bit like what Man City's is. And I think if you can tap into different markets, and not predominantly be one club that's having to do all of the work, then it's a good thing for Aston Villa. And I'm not saying that we're just going to nab all the talent and then we're going to scout it all and take it all. It's going to be good for the youth of Aston Villa to maybe go to this club and go out on loan and work alongside it. So I think it's going to be good. I think the stake we've acquired for Vitoria is 5.5 million. So we've not broke the bank. So I think it's not a thing that we've broke the bank. They don't own, like, they've not gone and spent 50 odd million to acquire this. It's 5.5 million from what I've seen. So yeah, so it's exciting. It's just exciting for Villa to just, I mean, the scouting side of things is absolutely massive because we've spoke about the transfer window a lot, and I really want us to have a transfer model, and I think this will, in time, allow us to have a bit of a model of the way in which we do things. So I think it's just a good thing for Villa. It's a good thing that we're now in a different league. We're in a different country that we can sort of work and adapt and just work with stuff like that. So I think it's good. And I think it's good for Vitoria that they can hopefully maybe break that mould and get into, say, the Champions League in the Portuguese league as well. So let's have a little look at where they currently sit in the Portuguese league. So they're on a nice bit of form, to be fair. They've won the last 3 games. So let's have a look at where they are in the league. So they are currently 5th in the Portuguese league. If you're looking at the way in which the Portuguese league works, 2 mainstays who predominantly are the big forces of this league, Benfica and Porto. Lisbon have been doing really well recently as well. So, you know, they're a top five Portuguese side. Let's have a look where they finished last season. Yeah, so they finished 6th last season as well. Season before, 8th. Season before, 7th. 5th. So they've always been there or thereabouts, haven't they? They've always been there or thereabouts. Who's this Thiago Silva? Should we have a little look at him? 7.22. You know I love that score. So yeah, 7.22, Thiago Silva. We've also got Carlos, a midfielder, 21 years of age, 7.06. So he looks quite tidy. Winger. Who else have they got? Miguel Mega, 20 years of age, 7.05. SOFA score rating, 20 years of age. So, you know, I mean, this is just highlighting an area of something quite decent of why we've done it as well. You know, they've got some tidy little players here as well. So, you know, for their age, some really youthful young players. So I just thought I'd just come on and drop my thoughts. I think it's a massive, massive positive. I really, really do. I love seeing stuff like this. It just shows and highlights the ambition of NSWE for me as well. You know, they're still heavily, heavily invested. They want to invest. They're looking at avenues of making money and bringing talent to this country and vice versa. So you absolutely love it. And if any of you have checked your emails, if any of you sit in the Holt End, you'll have seen the questionnaire that the Holt Enders have had to answer for our experience in the Holt End. And, you know, the atmosphere, the food, etc. And I just think they're looking to improve the Holt End a little bit. I think that one question about safe standing was the big one that I think they wanted answering. Would you move seats to go into safe standing? Would you be for safe standing? So I felt like that questionnaire was designed around that. And my thoughts of it are, I would love safe standing. I'm big on safe standing. I think safe standing generates a better atmosphere. Whenever you go to an away game, you pretty much stand up for the whole game. Holt End, you don't really stand up where I sit. I'm in K6 and I'd say I'm at the front of safe. I'm at the front of standing maybe. I think I'd stand up all game if I could, but the ones behind sometimes sit down, so you can't, it's one of them, innit? So, I mean, I'd be massive for standing all game. I think the atmosphere does need to improve. I think the scarves were good. We need more of that, but I think we need more flags. I was looking at the flags at Anfield, to be fair, and I always thought, are those flags the fans' flags or the club's flags? Now, I saw a shot of Anfield for the Everton game, and the club were taking all the flags back. Now, I think that's a big, big thing that we could possibly do. Get more flags. I mean, we need more war flags, basically. We need the atmosphere to improve. I think the whole fan base want the atmosphere to improve, but without necessarily having props to do so, I think it's quite difficult. So, and they are big flags at Liverpool. I'm not talking about mini little flags that you wave around and you put someone's eye out. I'm talking they're big, big things. So I think maybe that's something that the club should be looking at as well. But, I think they do want the atmosphere to improve. Catering inside the Holt End, again, it was all questions about, is it good? Is it not good? It's all right, but it's just slow, innit? It's just so slow. So hopefully it speeds up a little bit and improves that way. You just, when you're in that queue, you just want a beer, don't you? You just want a beer. You want your drink, and that's it. So maybe those little touch screens will help as well. So yeah, nice little episode. Something positive, something positive to go off. And it's just one of them, innit? Now it's like, we just need Villa. We just need Villa to improve as well, and I see it through the channel. Do you know what I mean? I see it through the comments. I see it through the views. I see it through everything that we're just waiting for Villa to just improve, and the whole vibe of the place. It just needs that little bit of a kick. It needs that little bit of something to just galvanise us a little bit more. I think, last couple of results haven't been great, so we've got to go into this Arsenal game now and try and really take the game to them and get the points. So we are doing a watch along tonight, Villa fans, on the channel. We're going to do Arsenal v Man City. Some of you will be thinking, why are you doing that? Well, we're doing it because we haven't been able to get our usual content out for the week ahead. We can't preview Villa v Arsenal when Arsenal haven't played Man City, so we've got to wait until this game finishes. So we're going to have a nice chat with all you guys in the chat. We haven't done a watch along since the World Cup. And we'll just have a general Villa chat. We'll talk about the game, talk about Arsenal. It'll be a place for everyone to just come in and chat. So it'll be a good little space for everyone. And then we can do our previews tomorrow, etc., going into the weekend ahead. So, can't wait for that. So it'll be nice to see quite a few of you in the building for that one. So come and join us, get a beer, get a tea, get a coffee, and just enjoy the game with us, to be fair. I think Justin's on, I think Ryan's on as well. So thanks for watching. Get involved up the Villa.